I don't know where you've been, but you're going to respect this courtroom. My life has proven that it's not about where you come from, it's about where you're going. From a jailed youth who had my record expunged to becoming the youngest judge elected.
The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding.
In just 15 years. Ma'am, let me know when you want to go to rehab. Otherwise, I think you're a crackhead.
Absolutely not.
My goal is to inspire others to overcome their obstacles. You don't need him and his little raggedy roommate.
Thank you.
All while having a little fun on Mathis Court. You look like you're ready to lie right the first word out your mouth. This is Mathis Court with Judge Mathis.
Steve Hitch is suing Josie Flowers in the amount of $2,800.
All rise. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may be seated.
Mr. Hitch claims his fiancée got angry with him after her car was damaged by his niece and says Miss Flowers ended their engagement but kept the ring.
State your name.
Steve Hitch.
Ma'am?
I'm Josie Flowers.
All right, and sir, you're suing the defendant, your ex-fiancée, for $2,800, alleging she owes you this money for an engagement ring?
That is correct.
Start with you.
So Josie and I had been together for around, I would say, 2 years, and it was going great. And then about, I would say in the early stages, we decided to move in together. And then in the beginning stages of our relationship, I explained to her that I had a legal guardianship over my niece. She was fine with it, so I said, okay, cool. I have my niece and I have my wife.
How old was she?
Soon-to-be wife, 15-ish,
okay,
when she moved in with us. So about a month after that, I would say all hell broke loose. It was literally the worst thing I could imagine. It would be, most times they would have very small, petty arguments. She would come in the house, oh, why is the eyebrow brush over here? Or why is the toilet this way? Or why is hair over here?
What do you think changed? So
honestly, she's...
Them not helping around the house.
She was faking all along?
I don't think she was faking. I just think it's new for her and for me, myself, to deal with the teenager in the house.
But she was doing all right for how long? Were they
3 months.
Close for 3 months.
Yeah.
So something happened 3 months later?
Can I mention,
Yes.
Your Honor, the first 3 months were lovely, but after that, they got comfortable. He pretty much told her since she works and goes to school, she doesn't have to do anything around the house.
You all didn't have a discussion about that?
We
The
didn't.
two of you?
I think he just thought since I was the woman of, just in the house, I'm supposed to be cooking and cleaning. I pay 50% of the bills. So
that
we
true?
do.
It is true.
Why are you there
And
talking so big?
Hold on. This only happened once my niece officially moved in. The beginning of our relationship, I was taking care of everything.
That's when it shouldn't have. That's the point that it shouldn't have happened. You're bringing a second person into the household.
Thank you,
expenses.
Very true.
And then you're gonna make her pay more.
Very
so
true.
essentially, you had her paying for your niece. That's what that was.
It wasn't like that. I mean, whatever expenses that my niece had, she was able to cover herself.
Did she ever come to you and say, I have a problem with this?
No, and that's where she lacked. She lacked communication upon if she had a problem with the 50-50. You understand?
Go to
That's a
him?
lie, Your Honor.
Did you go to him?
I did. I went to him plenty of times.
And what did he say?
Since you're the woman, I want you to teach her how to be a woman as well.
And she, of course, didn't look at you as authority figure.
Exactly. I'm 10 years older.
She looked at him as the authority figure.
Exactly. And he doesn't discipline her. So even when, we're going to get into the car crash, but even when the car crash happened, she didn't even get grounded. Your Honor, I remember being 16.
Tell me about this car crash.
Prior to the accident, Josie has outrageous spending habits. I'm going to just say that. And I get it. She has her own business.
I pay for my things. I can have outrageous spending habits.
I get it. She owns a business. I'm a manager of a gym and a personal trainer. We both make around the same amount, so therefore 50-50 comes into play. So we were shopping around for a toaster. I go in there, I think I'll spend about $50, $75 on a nice toaster. She says, oh no, let's look at this $200 toaster, we need it.
What do you think of that?
I asked him, okay, look, since my birthday's coming up, can you at least just do it for my birthday?
What's the purpose of, what was the difference in the toasters to you?
Your Honor, to be honest, it had a little screen on it, and it dings when, the toast comes up.
What type of screen?
It's like a little screen that's like a digital kind of screen. So like it lets you do like
See, these young girls get attached to technology.
When your friends come over.
Exactly. I got a toaster with a touch screen.
$100 more, Your Honor, and then I asked
$100 come in the house. You rush them over to the toaster before they can even.
Right.
Before
Come
they
see
can
my
have
new
a seat.
toaster. So going into the car accidents, I'm coming home from work. I get home around 7:30. As soon as I see Josie, I greet my woman, hug her, kiss her, and everything like that. She says, hey, Denise took my car and I haven't heard from her. I know she usually works like a 4 to 5 hour shift. Have you heard from her? As soon as I say, no, I haven't, I get a call from Denise immediately. Uncle, I need you, help. I've been into a car accident. Can you please come fast? I'm at my friend's house at this so-and-so address.
She has a driver's license now?
She has it.
Go ahead.
So I let her know that, hey, she's been into an accident while she had your car in your possession. We need to go over there first so I can make sure she's safe. So boom, we get in my car after I just get home from work. We head there. We get to the scene. As soon as my niece sees me, she runs over to me, she hugs me, she's crying. I don't know what happened. I was in my friend's house, so we were hanging out.
What did the car look like? What did it look like, the scene?
We were hanging out at my friend's house, and then all of a sudden we heard a thud. She ran outside and saw that the front bumper had been dislodged completely off of her car.
The bumper was on the street ground, Your Honor.
Coming up on Mathis Court with Judge Mathis.
Josie got out my car and went straight to looking at her car. About 10 minutes into it, all of a sudden, she starts going in on my niece.
And later.
It was our green light, of course, but we saw another oncoming car. Luckily, the car didn't hit us, but he did hit a curb, and it damaged my bumper and my tire.
If you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878.
You're watching Mathis Court with Judge Mathis.
Closed captioning provided by
This is Mathis Court with Judge Mathis.
Mathis Court is back with the case of Steve Hitch, who is suing Josie Flowers for $2,800.
Prior to this, she's been riding around in her car with the bumper already dislodged 80%.
It's her car. It's her car. She paid for it, or she's paying on it. She's paying the insurance. She could throw a bomb in there. She could blow it up if she wants to.
That's very true. The bumper was already 80% falling off. So, being that this car was parked, Denise was in the house. Someone drove by, hit the front bumper, and it came off. I mitigated our responsibility from Denise. I said, okay, Denise, calm down. You're not in trouble. I'm glad you're safe. Let me console you. Josie got out my car and went straight to looking at her car. About 10 minutes into it, all of a sudden, she starts going in on my niece. What were you doing out this late?
Okay, that quiet.
In front of her friends. What were you doing out this late? You should have been home a couple hours ago. You get off work, and I see your friends here. Were you actually going to work, or were you just joyriding around the car? What was going on? I said, Josie, you have every right to lash out at her, but still be respectful and not embarrass her in front of her friends. Remember, she wasn't behind.
She lied about where she was.
She wasn't behind the wheel, so it wasn't like she ran into someone. She was in the house.
It's reasonable for a person to be upset when they see their car has been damaged by someone else who is driving it.
Very true, very true.
Now,
So,
in a
calm
location
down
that
at
she
some
wasn't
point,
supposed to
yes.
be at.
Maybe even the next day you might calm down, but what she did was reasonable. Go
very
ahead.
true.
Now
I agree. So then we go ahead and call the flatbed. The flatbed takes her car to a shop where it's going to be further inspected. I take Josie and my niece, and we all get in the car and we go home. When I say
you gotta get to this engagement ring in a minute, but go ahead.
When I say the drive home was silent. So we get home. Josie goes in our room. Denise goes in her room. I tell Josie, okay, I'm gonna go talk to Denise. Let me go ahead and let her know that she was in the wrong. I then go back to Josie, and we both agree that we need to have a family discussion.
I brought up the family discussion.
Go ahead. And what happened with the discussion?
The discussion happened the next day, and she didn't cook dinner that night.
Sir, your daughter has ruined her car, and she is no doubt traumatized, and you want her to go home and start whistling and cooking dinner.
Just pop some in the microwave, just
Can
real
you hand
quick,
me
leftovers.
She say she got the new toaster.
Exactly. Maybe some butter
You need to
toast.
stop.
She wants an old-fashioned woman, but still wants me to pay 50% of the bills.
I'm not paying that any
So
attention.
we woke up, we had the family discussion immediately. They end up arguing, and I do my best to mitigate it and break it up. And that's when Josie starts lashing out on me. You're an irresponsible uncle. You don't do this and you don't that. You don't even make enough money to take care of all of us. And that's when she completely storms out and breaks up with me.
Where's the ring? What happened with the ring?
What happened with the ring? So she moved out.
Ma'am, I'll ask you. What happened with the ring?
I pawned it, Your Honor.
You pawned it?
I pawned it, yes, sir.
With an intent to do what? To get it back and do what with it?
For money. I had to do an emergency move out because the place was just toxic at that point. The next day we had the family meeting, and she was still being mouthy with me, and he pretty much told me it wasn't her fault. So with her, I gave her the car thinking she was going to be at work. She left off to her friend's house for 2 hours, and that's where the accident happened.
Sir, go ahead.
So yes, so with that all happening, it was chipping away at me. I'm cooking, I'm cleaning, I'm paying 50% of the bills.
Which she never communicated she had a problem with.
I can find better.
She never communicated she had a problem with it.
The question, let me explain how the law goes with this. Most people don't know, so I'm glad we have this case. And that is, a ring is a conditional gift. A gift that can be or should be returned if the conditions aren't met. The condition is we marry. If we don't marry, you give me that gift back. Maybe with a high schooler, if you get good grades, I'll get your car. If your car is not your grades fail, I get it back. That's conditional gift. So that's what an engagement ring is. If we get married, then this is a gift you keep.
$2,800 gift.
However, if someone is at fault, that's why I asked. If someone is in clear fault, then it's that person that suffers the loss. And I'm going to conclude, if it's mutual, then all you do is give the ring back. In this case, the cost of the ring, because you've pawned it. However, sir, I'm going to conclude that it's your fault. I'm going to conclude that all the things you've told me about your parenting, about your approach to parenting, about how you had her to pay half once she moved in, certainly giving her the impression that she wouldn't have to pay anything, dumping the responsibility on her of helping to raise your child, which she, and I call her your child because you're guardian, and that's not something that she has to do. You allowed it to cause friction in the relationship. So as a result of that friction, it broke off that engagement, and it's your fault, and therefore your claim is dismissed. Have a good day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All rise.
Judge Mathis has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim has been dismissed.
I hope the best for you. I'm happy this didn't work out.
I wish I would have got my money back for everything I poured into us, but it's all good.
Coming up.
I have a question.
What?
Let's say we were robbing a bank, right? And you let me use your gun, and I jammed your gun and broke it. Could you sue me?
Great question. You're watching Mathis Court with Judge Mathis.
Closed captioning provided by
This is Mathis Court with Judge Mathis.
Danielle Hudson, suing Oliver Banks in the amount of $1,100. Ms. Hudson claims she jokingly switched seats with her friends at a stoplight and says Mr. Banks damaged her car after he took the wheel.
State your name,
Danielle Hudson.
sir.
Oliver Banks.
All right, and ma'am, you're suing the defendant for $1,100, alleging he drove your car into a curb and wrecked it?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Start with you.
So it started one night. I was meeting a past high school friend, which I thought would just be the two of us for drinks, but it turned out the defendant was also joining us. So at the end of the night, it was good, and the defendant and I actually started to, become more friendly with each other. He stood up for me at one point at the bar when, a gentleman was being weird towards me.
And then what?
After that, the defendant did step in and, politely, but not forcefully, but, he got the man to go away, essentially, which was great, and I appreciate that. The energy was high, and we were ready to go, 1 or 2 drinks, nothing more. So we started to drive, just 1 or 2. And, at this time, it was probably 1 a.m., so the streets were pretty empty at this point. And my friend and I, Gabby, we decided to play a game that we used to play as kids, which is essentially musical chairs with your car. The streets were very empty, so.
Still illegal.
There was nobody out. And what happens is, at a red light, you all run around the car, and whoever ends at the driver's seat is now the driver.
What you getting high off of? Make you
It's-
think you can do this and then come sue somebody about the car was wrecked. You got to be getting high off something to think that that's even reasonable.
Coming up.
It became a green light, and I was ready to drive, and then this car came out of nowhere. I believe it was an SUV. Unfortunately, in the process, the car hopped the curb in the center median island of the road.
You're watching Mathis Court with Judge Mathis.
Closed captioning provided by...
This is Mathis Court with Judge Mathis.
Mathis Court is back with the case of Danielle Hudson, who is suing Oliver Banks for property damage.
But go ahead.
All of us drove, and it was fine the first time. The defendant was a little nervous, but still went along with it, still said he would join us and play.
Repeat that again, Amir.
It's illegal.
Go ahead.
But then the second time, the defendant was behind the wheel. It was our green light, of course, but we saw another oncoming car. Luckily, the car didn't hit us, but he did hit a curb, and it damaged my bumper and my tire.
Now, where do you all live?
New Haven.
New Haven, Connecticut.
Yes, sir.
Give me some background on
Yeah,
it.
so I was admittedly on the fence about going out. Our mutual friend, Gabby, she texted me and said, hey, I'm going out, invite you out for a drink. I'm going to be out with a couple friends. Figure you want to come out, spend a little bit, figure we'd catch up. And I said, all right, cool, I'm fine doing that. So I went out, I got picked up by Danielle, and immediately we were doing all right. I thought we were doing fine, but I wasn't trying to have a crazy night, so I only had a couple drinks. And then Danielle wanted to leave. We all decided to leave at the same time. And while we were leaving, she proposed this musical chairs game with the car. And yes, it is illegal. I did make that point. I was hesitant to jump in, but nonetheless, I was essentially outvoted 2-1, and I was kind of stuck having to do it. But
He could have said no, Your Honor.
I tried to, but I didn't.
Peer pressure.
That said, we did go along with the game, and we got to the green. It became a green light, and I was ready to drive. And then this car came out of nowhere. I believe it was an SUV. Unfortunately, in the process, the car hopped the curb in the center median island of the road. So the driver's side tire was blown out, and the bumper was damaged.
How will Judge Mathis rule? Find out when Mathis Court returns.
You're watching Mathis Court with Judge Mathis.
Promotional consideration provided by...
This is Mathis Court with Judge Mathis. You were engaged in an illegal activity. You encouraged him to engage in that illegal activity.
I have a question.
What?
Let's say we were robbing a bank, right? And you let me use your gun, and I jammed your gun and broke it. Could you sue me?
That's a great question, and it's a good analogy, too. It's a crime. No. We were involved in a criminal activity. So, claim is dismissed. I can't reward you for being involved in criminal activity in which he participated and also caused damage. So, that's the case. Claim dismissed.
Judge Mathis has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim has been dismissed.
You two have any words for each other?
Just keep him off the road.
I'm just glad I was trying to be responsible here.
Head out this way after you.
This has been a production of Allen Media Group.